We come with the player ratings this morning after Arsenal went ahead to beat Luton Town to obviously gauge to the top of the Premier League table, and they now await the results between Liverpool and Sheffield. I know most of the people think it's going to be a given, all a smooth ride, but in the game of football, never say never until the last whistle is really blown. Like for me, I thought that Arsenal is going to really trounce Brentford by 4-0, and it only ended 2-0, but I understand why. Arteta went ahead to really bench very many players. Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Declan Rice, Jakub Kiwior. Close to half of his team was on the bench. That is it. And that's how good the manager really went ahead to rest. And the beautiful thing of it all is that even the players they went ahead to obviously put on the field of play went ahead to put in performances that we are going to rate on the scale of 10 here onto the Rokani Media Football. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. For all you watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And we are here to bring you the best of the best here, and I hope you guys are really going to enjoy. You are really gonna do this with me in the comment section. The moment I get done with the player, go into the comment section and tell me what your rating is for that player on the scale of 10. It's a Thursday, 4th of April, and we've gone ahead to hit 20,600 subscribers. Can we really see to it that maybe by the end of today we really surprise ourselves to 20,700 subscribers? So continue to subscribe. Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. That is the Rokani Media Football. Muslims, Ramadan Kareem, they've told me that next week is Eid. Mid next week is Eid, and we just can't wait to see how that really pans out. And secondly, the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And we are yet into another month. The first quarter of the year is done. We are beginning the second quarter of the year. Now, if you really set your targets this year and you're not going to obviously hit the target, you need to obviously warm up and really get to know that time is not your best ally. You understand? Time is not your best ally, and you should obviously get going and moving to the right direction at which you think those things that you're really chasing for are. How many likes? 400 likes should be smashed on this video. And let's start it off with David Raya. He was not threatened at all. All the shots that we went at him were baby shots. I think only 4 were they 2 or 3 shots were directed to the goalkeeper, and he came in through and really did the needful. And all the shots that would have gone ahead to be looking deadly were blocked by Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba and Benjamin White. That is it. None of a serious shot was directed onto the goal of the goalkeeper of Arsenal in that entire game. And I give him a 7 out of 10. He kept a clean sheet. And those are how many clean sheets in a row. You know, against Man City kept a clean sheet, and now he has gone ahead to keep a clean sheet. Those are 2 clean sheets in a row. But away from home, there are now 4 clean sheets against West Ham, Burnley, Sheffield and Man City. So Arsenal really keeps clean sheets at the Emirates, but they've gone ahead to keep one, and he's the most clean sheeted goalkeeper in the Premier League, and he is in the queue of obviously winning what we call the Golden Glove, as he's followed up by Andre Onana, who is having 9. I think even Pickford is also having, I think, 8 or 9. So it looks like the battle of the Golden Glove is in between Andre Onana and David Raya. So wait and see who is really going to take it. But I give David Raya a 7 out of 10. We go to Benjamin White. Guys, Benjamin White has perfected the art of really putting in perfect crosses into the 18-yard box area. Do you remember in the game of Man City, that first shot, though it was off target, but it went in the side net, that Gabriel Jesus went ahead to take? Who was responsible for that very pinpoint cross? You know, it was all about this guy. And even to yesterday night, I saw him trying to overlap and really putting in the best of performances in there for you. So for me, he takes a 7.5 out of 10 for me. He really looked good. He defended very well. And amidst him playing with the knee injury, he really shows us that I shouldn't be rested. Every game, I should be available. And that's what makes you an elite player. So this is why no one is really complaining about the £50 million that Arsenal went ahead to really pay out to the side of Brighton, and they really got him in. And remember, on Saturday, he's going to be playing at Brighton in a game that might be a high-scoring fixture, as I might come in here and really tell you on, by the way, today, Thursday, I have to obviously come up and really do what we call a match, what should we call it? It should be a match preview, because I always want to do a match preview 2 days to the game. And trust me, in the night, I'm going to come up with a match preview, that puts these Arsenal players into that direct competition against Brighton and see how Brighton is really looking into that beautiful game of football. So, I'm giving Benjamin White a 7.5 out of 10. Then we go to the left back. That is Zinchenko. Oh my, I enjoyed Zinchenko. And I know I enjoyed him. And I was one of those people that went ahead to put Zinchenko into my starting 11. Do you know why I put him in that starting 11? Because I really saw to it that he was one of those players that were going to enjoy this game of football. Arsenal was going to have a lion's share of the possession, and there is no way a Luton Town could obviously become a problem to him. And the moment they started to expose him and really explore that side where he was really defending, that is the left back, Arteta was really reactionary and he brought in Tomiyasu. So for me, Zinchenko, he inverted in the box very well. He inverted into the midfield very well, and his press resistance is really out of this world. 8 out of 10 for me. I gave Zinchenko an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed Zinchenko. I would love to know how many touches Zinchenko would have to have into that box. They are game by number, because his touches were really insanely good for the side of Luton to obviously maintain. 8 out of 10 for me. Though my only worry for him as a left back is, even if he inverts, he doesn't really get in those line breaking passes or crosses. Yet a modern fullback has to be doing one of the two. If you invert so much in the midfield, you need to obviously find out a killer pass, a secondary assist, or an assist. If you really do what we call the overlapping role, you should be responsible for averaging 3 crosses per half. But I never saw him really do that. But he takes an 8 out of 10 for me on the day. Central defense, Gabriel Magalhaes, solid as usual. They've gonna hit to keep another clean sheet. In total, Arsenal have gonna hit to keep 13 clean sheets this season, and no team was gonna hit to keep 13 clean sheets this season. So Arsenal is really looking like no one is really gonna come close to us, and they're really doing a great job. And Gabriel Magalhaes, 8 out of 10 for me. He really did a very fantastic job on the night, and he really defended very, very well. There is a block that he really went ahead to make after a cutback was brought in towards the edge of the 18-yard box area. I think onto the right, onto the left side of the pitch, and the shot was really hit very well at goal of Arsenal. You would have gone ahead to say that would have gone into trouble with the goalkeeper of Arsenal, but Gabriel Magalhaes blocked it, and he really looked good. And very many other times, because they really had a very energetic team. Luton is all about physicality. That is it. They play with a lot of energy, and their physicality battles. If you cannot really win them, then there is no way you're going to come out to really get going into that ilk. So that is the guy himself who goes by the names of Gabriel Magalhaes, 8 out of 10. Saliba comes in through the mix. Obviously solid player. He would have had to put in a better performance, and he is never dropping off. And this centre-back pairing is really elite. And the day one of those really gets injured, Arsenal fans will really mourn. They will mourn, and they will be in a assembly mode as a side of Arsenal. But as it stands, they are really doing the needful. Even if it means to pull a rabbit out of a hat. They can, and they're doing miracles, and they're topping the table, not by mistake. They're leading it for purpose. That is Arsenal for you. So Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, I also get him an 8 out of 10 because they had no much to do in that central defense. The only credit I'm giving them an 8 for is because they've gone ahead to really keep a clean sheet. That is it. And few shots were directed at their goal. At Man City, a team that really had 12 shots, only one was on target. And for Luton Town, they had like 2 shots on target. And for me, I think Arsenal did the needful to really close them down. And after those, let's go to the midfield. Thomas Partey. I predicted that Thomas Partey is really gonna start, and obviously the manager gave him a go into that team, and Thomas Partey went ahead to do the needful into that game. He really shielded the back four very well, He connected the midfield to the attack. His vertical play, his game awareness was really out of this world. And his biggest attribute, he's really a hard tackler. He won most of the duels in that midfield. 8.5 for me is what I'm going to give Thomas Partey, returning from injury, making his first Arsenal start since last year, I think at the beginning of the season, because he last made an Arsenal start when Arsenal was beating what was that team? Forgotten its name. I think it was around the third game of the season, and that's when he last made his last start for the club of Arsenal. But most of the games ever since return from injury, he was playing off the bench, right? So that is Thomas Partey for you. He came on through when Arsenal was playing Man City, put in a very decent performance, and even yesterday night, he was one of those people that were really very important into that win of Arsenal, and he was like, I'm back for these remaining 10 games of the season. I want Arsenal to clinch those points. And you saw his importance against Man City. When he came in through, he was given the CDM role to replace Jorginho. He brought in more energy, more physicality, and more aggressiveness in that midfield, and the composure he gave Arsenal was really exquisite. It was one of those moments that he would ever want to have every game. And he went ahead to really transport it to blueprint it, or to mirror it in the game of Luton Town, and really looked great. I'm giving him an 8.5 out of 10. Then after that, let's talk about Martin Odegaard having a goal and being a busybody into that game. I like it when I see him really running left, right, and center. And kudos to the manager of Arsenal for really making that player a hard-working player, because you need to eat that. He was one of these lazy players like Mesut Ozil, but he was like, I was with Mesut Ozil here. The reason as to why I really let him out of this team was simple, because he was not a workaholic player. So I know you're a talented player, but there is something missing into your modern game. It's all about workaholism. And he went ahead, obviously, act as a donkey, and he's really one of those that is doing the needful. So Odegaard, 8.5 out of 10 for me. He takes an 8.5 out of 10 for me. I go to my man that I really love a lot. Guys, do you know that? Do you know my most loved player at Arsenal? Who can guess that player? Who can guess that player? My most loved player at Arsenal is that shirt number 10, who goes by names of Emile Smith-Rowe. That is it. I love the boy because I know how talented he is. He's a different breed of player. He has, I see a Paul Scholes in him. I see a Steven Gerrard in him. I see a Frank Lampard in him. So he's an exotic breed, and that breed is really unusual because he can shoot from far, he can release players, he can press, he can really skip past players. His technical ability is really undoubted, and it was not by mistake that Arsenal had to give him shirt number 10. Though injuries have gone ahead to affect him, but this guy has gone ahead, obviously, show his class every time he makes it on the field of play. Why am I excited? He came up and did a lot in that game. You know that very well. He was involved into the first goal. You all know that. Not so? And then he found himself involved into the second goal. How did he really get involved in the first goal? The interception he makes to pass that ball to Martin Odegaard, and Martin Odegaard passes it to Kai Havertz. Then Kai Havertz does what we call a return pass. Then Martin Odegaard hits it immediately at the back of the net, into the back of the net. But who did the most important bit of it all? It was Emile Smith-Rowe. It was Emile Smith-Rowe. In the second goal, I think it's Trossard that plays him a ball towards the byline, and he raises his eyes and he reads the movement of Reiss Nelson like a book. Cutback is put in. Reiss Nelson is in the vicinity to really hit that ball in the back of the net, but it really gets an interception from the defender that was counted as an own goal. But we all know the effort came in through from Smith-Rowe. And for the two goals that Arsenal scored, he really had a very good goal for those games, and the input was really huge. And for me, I'm giving Emile Smith-Rowe a 9 out of 10 for me. He has gone ahead to do a very fantastic job, and I'm really excited to tell you that he takes a 9 out of 10 for me. We go to Reiss Nelson, involved in the second goal. I liked his intensity, tracking back, going forward, and the way he inverts in the midfield. I'm really I'm really skeptical of players who really use a lot of the touchline. That wide out play, I really hate it. I like those forwards, especially wide forwards, when they really invert inside every time they really get the ball. And I think he is really one of the few with the right foot that can really invert inside and really cause havoc to the opponents. That is Chris Nelson for you. He had gone ahead to spend close to how many years? Is it 3 years since he last came up and obviously started the game for Arsenal, and he finally got himself start a Premier League game for the game of Arsenal in those years. And every time he comes up at Arsenal, he puts in the required shift. 8 out of 10 for me. Chris Nelson, huge contribution for that Arsenal side, and then he walks away with an 8 out of 10 for me. Trossard, I think had a very beautiful display, but he was a little bit silent. I expected more from him, but I think the team just switched off. The moment there were 2 goals, the team switched off. They came in the second half. They were like, let's just maintain, hide possession, and just see whether when you get in that one chance, then we can obviously kill off the game. I think that's what they're really playing for. But it never really went on as to plan, and the goals remain 2 for the Trossard. 7.5 out of 10 for me. That is Trossard for me. But we cannot forget to highlight that pass he gives to Emile Smith-Rowe that results in the cutback, that results into the second goal for Arsenal. That was an own goal for the side of Luton Town. Then after that, we go to the man who led the line, Kai Havertz. Something you should know about Kai Havertz that I'm going to obviously read here. It's really a very huge start for this young lad. That is he just 24, 25 years of age. Kai Havertz, you need to know this, that Kai Havertz has now scored all assisted 12 goals in the Premier League this season. His best ever season in the Premier League. Now, he came in through at Chelsea in 2020-2021. He had 4 goals and 3 assists. Those were 7 goal involvements. In 2021-2022, 8 goals and 3 assists, 11 goal involvements. 2022-2023, 7 goals and 1 assist. Those are 8 goal involvements. And 2023-2024, 8 goals and 4 assists. That is Kai Havertz for you. And Arteta is improving the German egg and Magnificio to turning him into a terrorist, to obviously terrorize the teams he really plays against. That is the man himself. That is Kai Havertz for you, and he's really doing the needful and really taking us and really taking the team of Arsenal further and further and further, and I really love him a lot. And I'm giving Kai Havertz for an assist. He takes an 8.5 out of 10 for me. That is Kai Havertz for you, and he is really a very good player. Very, very, very good player, and he's really doing the best of the best for his team. So that is it for the side of Arsenal and Brentford, and he's really having fun, and Kai Havertz is really doing the needful. Now let's go to the substitutes. Tomiyasu, 7.5 out of 10. I think Zinchenko was taken off and he came on through to do the needful. The other one that came on through was Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah came in through and had a lot of things to do into that game of football, and he really had even chances to score, and I saw his anger in his face. He was really hungry for goals, but it was not his day to obviously score. He takes a 7 out of 10 for me. Then Gabriel Martinelli also came on, 7 out of 10. Never felt his impact when he came on through. Jorginho, 7 out of 10. And Declan Rice, 7.5 out of 10. I never really saw what they really added to that game, because it was like orders coming in from the manager that let's kill off this game, let's get the best out of this game, and let's hide the ball such that these people don't really get it. And that's what exactly they did, and it resulted into them not getting the best out of the best, and it was really a dead game. That is it. The manager, Mikel Arteta, 8 out of 10 for me. Who is my man of the match? I give it to Emile Smith-Rowe. He was really, really, really vintage. I really liked the way he played. Stellar performance from the lad, and I think he has gone ahead to put himself in contention to start against Brighton because of his performance he's going to put on. You know, if Fabio Vieira never stepped on the field of play, it just sends a very huge communication to you that, all right, the manager was like, it's really done business. Maybe Emily Smith Rowe was going to hate to retain his position. And Fabio Vieira, however much he really came back earlier than Emily Smith Rowe, he is not really getting into the team of Arsenal at any time of the day. So, my man of the match is Emily Smith Rowe. That is it. So, we wait and see how things pan out. But Arsenal is playing Brighton next. Brighton drew with... they drew with certain team 0-0, and I think it was Crystal Palace. They drew 0-0 and never really came out to the result they want. But they really had very many shots at goal. They drew with Brentford 0-0, and they are playing away, and they are going to host Arsenal at the Amnex Stadium on Saturday. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David is my name. Hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. I sign out for now. See you later. But my man of the match is obviously Emily Smith Rowe. I'm out. Bye-bye.